Do do do. Just gotta make sure that we're live. I like misspelling that. Anyways. Okay, we're good. Everything's all good. The birds know that I'm live, so they're screaming their heads off. Anyways, let's get on to the world. The mini-map is loading. Let's fucking go. Okay. So, what I wanted to do today is go around with trees. At the same time, I kind of want to do birch, but I do just need oak for this stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Gonna be planting these for the time being. Just around, you know. Got 37 saplings still. Ooh, what's this guy got? What do you have, sir? What do you have? Potatoes for emeralds, milk for emeralds. Emeralds for gunpowder is not bad. I like me some gunpowder. I will be right back with the emeralds that I got totally legit. Totally did not at all steal. Totally legit emeralds. %100 legit. %100 legit. Didn't steal these bad boys at all. Steal? I would never. I don't even know how. Anyways, I also thought we could get to that, you know, flattening that. So I'll just use up what I got in here. How much of this can go in here? None of it. Great. Yo! Entire pillar, let's go. Anyways, I'm also going to be chucking these in here. Now then, on to work. Tearing this fucking hill down. Anyone who saw the last stream knows what I'm trying to do. But if you didn't, I'm trying to rip this down so I have a better view in the morning. That's it. I know it sounds crazy, I know it sounds insane, but where's the fun in having neurotypical sanity, right? You gotta be able to lose yourself at least a little bit. If you never lose yourself, how are you gonna find yourself? Riddle me that. Also, it gets me seeds, and I need seeds for how big of a farm that I have planned. Some would say my method of digging up is inefficient, because I'm running around back and forth like a chicken with its head cut off. To those naysayers, I say you are absolutely correct. But I just like doing it this way. Is that so wrong? To have your own personal way of doing things? I don't think so. I also wouldn't be surprised at this point if I need to get a chest and just dedicate to dirt and cobble. But it's fine. It's fine. The reason I'm streaming later compared to yesterday is simply because I went out and did adulting, which involved socializing. I decided I wanted to get some steps in, so I went into the stores that we had to go to. And the amount of people who give off like bad vibes is crazy. That or anxiety. Because I don't tend to go into places. I tend to just be that guy who waits out in the car like a weirdo. Because I have learned from many of bad experiences that socializing is terrifying. And that might just be a me thing, you know? It's entirely possible that it's just a me thing. It's entirely possible. And if that's the case, then so be it. You know? If one of the nerfs I had to have in life is being terrified to socialize, then it is what it is. Excuse me. Time to get more wood. Just while I'm chilling from the mountain. As for why I had a burp, that is an intense wind gust that just happened on my door. I don't know if you guys heard that, but intensive winds, they sure are a thing. Anyways, so I did something today that some would argue is horrendously idiotic of me. But considering I was told to try it in a dream, I was like, fuck it. What's the worst that could happen, right? Famous last words moment. And I was like, well, fuck it, you know? Might as well try it out. If I was told in a dream to do it, what's the worst that could happen, right? So I went to the store with my mom, and because I don't personally have a driver's license, I'm not comfortable with driving, because anytime I have tried to drive, um, it's always been in like a go-kart, so I'm always fucking speeding around a track. you know. So, anyways, we go to the store and we get some apple cider vinegar and some baking soda. And most people, they think of baking soda and vinegar and they're like, "Oh, the fucking what's that science fair experiment everyone does with the volcano?" I've never personally done it, but you know what I'm saying. Um so my experiment was trying that on myself by putting both into my mouth at the same time, and it immediately started bubbling, which I knew it would because in the dream it started bubbling too. So I was like, okay, this is to plan. And then I made the mistake of trying to force myself to swallow these bubbles. And when I did that, that's when my body decided, nope, rejection time. And I just could not stop puking it all out. And the thing is, like, it's not even that it was like scary puke, you know? Like, the difference between scary puke and just getting some stuff out of your system. Because for me, I've this is gonna sound weird and out of contexty, but I've puked enough to where I know the difference between scary puke and just getting stuff out of your system puke. Okay, so when I had to throw up, I was like, oh, I just have to get this stuff out of my system, and I was looking in it because I was like, well, what is there in my body that these substances, these chemical reactions are causing my body to just go, no, right? And so I'm looking, and I see this weird fucking black thing that just is in some of my spit, you know? And I'm like, huh, that's weird because there's no reason for it to be black. And so I was like, huh, you know? And then I thought back to the whole thing about having consumed apple cider vinegar and baking soda. And I remembered that there were people online who said that that's a way to get rid of parasites in the body. And I was like, is that black thing a parasite? Did I just puke up a parasite? You know? And obviously I'm like, what the fuck about all this? Um, I tell my mom because she was with me the entire time. She helped me get puke bag and everything. I told her ahead of time what my plan was, so I tell her that I seen this little black thing in there, and she was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" I know some people's families they probably don't swear around their kids, but you see, my mom didn't realize she'd let us have full access to watching Family Guy of all things as children because she thought it was just a colorful cartoon and she didn't know any better, and we took full advantage of that. Um, so now she knows that it's perfectly fine to swear around us. It's not gonna completely shock our systems. So she's like, "Oh, what the fuck," you know. And so I still kind of have that taste in my mouth of the apple cider vinegar and baking soda, and it's so weird to taste that residually and know that there was something in my body that just had a visceral reaction to it. and it's something that I'll probably think about at night. But I was I was told in the dream where I experienced it a couple nights ago. I was told to try it out, so I tried it out at least. You know, never say never. I gave it my honest try, and that happened. And so if anything happens weird on this stream, I'll let you guys know. I know this is a weird thing to start off the stream talking about, but you know, weird things happen. Weird things happen all the time, and that's okay. You know, there's always going to be something unexplainable. And that's okay. You know, it's something that I've learned is that um you don't need to know all the answers to the universe, which is basically to say that it's okay to not know everything. You know, there's certain people who are like, "Oh, I need to know everything because my parents want me to be a doctor." And that's cool and all, if you actually want to be a doctor. If you don't, then what are you doing with your life? Right? I'm gonna I'm gonna get rid of this part so bad. It's literally just annoying me. No, it's healthy to have dreams and aspirations, but it becomes unhealthy when it's stuff that is forced upon you. You know? It's okay to be a dreamer. Just dream the way that you want to dream, you know? If you want to be a doctor, cool. Be a doctor. If you want to be rocket scientist because space is cool and intriguing way, cool. Be a rocket scientist. Um, if you want to be a biologist because biology of all the living plants and creatures on the world that we live on is interesting in a cool way, cool. Be a biologist. You know? If you want to be an artist, you like drawing, you like painting, cool, be an artist. You know, it's I feel like the world would be a much happier place if everyone was just real with what they wanted to be. And maybe that's some form of wishful thinking. You know? Like, oh, why can't we all just be happy? But I don't think that's too much to ask for. Excuse me. I don't think it's too much to ask for everyone to be happy. I I don't think it's too much to ask for. Now, would people be happier if I ate an apple and regened my health? Probably. Ah, shoot, no shovels. Oh well. Might as well get this road done while I'm here. I'm sure everyone would be happier if I ate an apple, got my health back. you know, that's just not the way the cookie crumbles. Cause yeah, see the sunrise is right there. And I would like a good view of that. But this mountain is ruining that. Anyways, if you can hear my chewing, I'm sorry. I have aloe vera water. Actually, hold on. Why don't I just fucking make stone shovels? More cost effective. Actually, hold on. I need a iron axe. There we go. Throw the apples in there. Throw the coal in there. Throw the seeds in there. And then boop, boop, and actually make one more pickaxe, and then have the other two be shovels. Might as well. Might as frickin' well. The more we work at this, the sooner it will be done. And the longer my house will be left as a work in progress. Nah, I see people give other YouTubers shit for leaving certain things as work in progresses. So, I plan on 100% leaving my house as a work in progress. If anyone's got a problem with that, take it up with HR, but do know that HR is literally just me. So, also, dude, so, you know, I went with my mom to the store, but I also went with her to her doctor's appointment. But I didn't go inside because, confidentiality. But she ended up, like, being able to go in a meeting with her mom. You know, my grandma. And the she's told me stories about this nurse. I don't know what the legalities are of me telling the stories of what she's told the nurse, but she told me her end, so I'm just, you know, parroting. Um, parroting, but TLDRing, you know? So, this nurse is, from what I know, kind of has a track record of being like a creepy nurse for some reason. No idea why. Just she does. and apparently was giving her shit because she's a busy woman. I, I don't know how else to phrase that. Um, like the nurse asked my mom and grandma, like, what do you guys do to not be bored, right? And my mom, she runs an online business pretty much by herself. So she's like, well, I work all the time, and um, the nurse was like, okay, but say you're bored at work, right? Which for my mom isn't really a struggle because she's got ADHD and autism. We're pretty sure. She just needs to get a diagnosis. Anyways, so she doesn't really get bored. You know, she works a job she loves and she able to work it from home. So she doesn't really struggle with that. And this nurse just kept like insisting, like, well, if you were bored, right? So she told the nurse, well, I listen to podcasts. And the nurse was like, oh, what kind of podcasts? And then like she said, conspiracy podcasts, you know, because she's into that stuff, you know. And my grandma, who is socially anxious being, not speaking up the entire meeting, finally decides to say, oh, like stuff about Big Pharma. At which point the nurse, who essentially works for Big Pharma, is like, really? You're listening to conspiracy podcasts about my workplace. like from what I heard, she didn't say those exact words, but she gave that kind of look. My mom was like, "Oh, well, you know, sometimes Big Pharma is some of it, but there's a lot of other stuff talked about too. You know, because conspiracy theories they're all encompassing. They're not just one single subject for conspiracy theories. They're they cover a wide variety of subjects. But it's just so funny to me that the one time my grandma spoke up, it was for that one liner. Because it's like there's people who probably underestimate how funny old people are. Because it's like there's probably a lot of people out there who have like bad experiences with their elders. So they're like, man, old people aren't funny. You're just saying that. And it's like, okay, but if you actually get to know someone who's older than you and you get to understand like their lingo, they can be some of the funniest motherfuckers around. You just gotta understand what the joke is. Like, sure, sometimes the jokes are dated. I'm not gonna deny the truth. Some jokes are just horrifically dated. But then sometimes there's just bangers like that. And it's probably a thing of because we're pretty sure my grandma has the tism too. Um so it might just be a thing of like, you know, there's that thing where it's like, oh, an autistic person doesn't realize they're being funny because they think they're just saying words in a conversation, which honestly sometimes same. But so it could just be that kind of situation, but you know, in this household we stand Nancy. Nancy is my grandma's name, in case you couldn't tell, which you probably could. So, and then we had to go to this one guy's house who we know as, like, he's kind of like a family friend of a family friend, right? And we were just stopping by, like, hanging out for a minute. And, at the moment, like, we're kind of tight on cash. I don't know if you guys know about this concept, but it's, the end of the month blues. And what that is it's basically a coin we termed, where because it's getting towards the end of the month, your paycheck's dwindling. You know, you'd had to pay your bills. Um, you had to get groceries throughout the month. You had to do all this, that, and the other, right? So, I'm just gonna make a chest for the dirt at this point. So we're at the end of the month blues, right? And my my grandma, she's like, oh well, if, like, basically she offered her, um, hold on, she basically offered her, like, disability money for if we needed anything, which is extremely kind of her. Um, so she was saying in the car, like, yeah, I'll probably get it. Um, at this point, probably at um at the, like, she was basically saying, like, if we dropped her off, right, she would get it as soon as we got home. You know, and we were kind of like, yeah, that's funny. That's funny, Grandma. Tell me why. As soon as we get home, not even 10 minutes later, like, just 5 minutes later, she texts us, says, hey, disability check came through. Do you guys want anything? Like, bro, the kindness, you know, it's too much sometimes. So we were like, yeah, sure. If you're offering. It's a saying I started using, and then everyone else in the family started being like, oh, that's a good saying. I'm going to start using it now, too. So usually if someone's like, hey, do you want this? I'll be like, yeah, if you're offering. And they'll be like, well, yeah, I am offering. But it's just kind of like a double check. Make sure, like, are you okay with me taking this thing? Okay. I don't know why I feel the need to double check that shit, but it is what it is. Some would say it's trauma. Some would say I'm just trying to be nice. Some would say, I don't fucking know. I don't know what people would say. I'm just putting words in imaginary people's mouths. At least that's what some would say. Dirt, come here, please. Thank you. Anyways, um, So, you know, we went to the grocery store. And tell me why, like, okay, I don't tend to go into grocery stores often. But that kind of makes me think more on prices and shit. And so, I guess I'm just asking for why is there such thing as having different prices on things if it's the same fucking product, right? Because if it's supposed to be the same fucking product, why does it need to cost so much? If it's made by one brand, but then if it's made by another brand, it suddenly costs like half the price. Like, why can't the price just be the same? I know the answer boils down to economics, but why does economics have to be like that? I'd really like to know. Anyways, I didn't bother advertising the stream because at this point I don't know that I want to bother advertising my streams. You know, no one shows up anyways, so might as well just do my own thing. Instead of waiting for people, I might as well just do it. You know? Another thing going on today is my my grunkle, if you will, his going away party because he's deciding to move to Florida, and the reason he's told everyone is that he can't stand another winter here, which um for context, I live in Minnesota. So our winters they get kind of mean. So he's moving all the way to Florida, right? And his going away party it started at 4 o'clock, and it's currently 5 o'clock. So that kind of tells you how um going there went. But the reason I'm not in attendance is I currently in my home, um one person has a medical issue. I'm not gonna say who. Um and then my mom, who I've talked about going to the store with today, she hasn't gotten much sleep last night. No, she's not the one with the medical issue. I'll just clear that one up. Um, but she didn't get much sleep last night. So even just like driving to the stores and such, she was fairly tired, which understandable. So yeah, basically missed out on going to his going away party. But at the same time, I hope if he ever sees this that he'd understand. Um, you know, family is a very important thing to everyone, and I think it's kind of like the herd mentality to kind of have favoritism towards the family who you've known the longest, right? It's it's no offense to the person, but if you know someone longer than someone else, then you kind of have your subconscious favorites of the group. And this isn't to say my grunkle was never around. He was around at times, but he he very much enjoyed having time and space to himself, and that's okay. You know, it's part of why he's probably leaving is to get more space. That's okay. You know, you can't force someone to stay if they don't want to stay. It's just not gonna happen. Does that make me any less sad about it? No. But I'm entitled to my feelings, as is everyone else. Freaking A, it's turning nighttime! No! Please, nothing spawn. Nothing spawn. Nothing spawn. Thank you. I'm going to be putting down extra logs today. It's crazy, I know. But, this one. And then this one. And then those places. And then, I gotta figure out a roof big enough for a hayloft, but for the time being, I think having a walkway on this side would be good, and then this side could be open, so it's kind of like you're chucking the hay down, you know. And then that be an open door. Those be walls. That could be a door. That could be a door. That area in those four pillars, bedroom space. You know, and then maybe somewhere in the mix, maybe like around there, make like a staircase down, so I can have a storage area, or I could have the storage in the attic, which is also an option. Um, we'll see when we get there. For now, though, I am going to do this, just on the sides that I know there will be nothing placed between. You know? Do that. There. That kind of helps frame everything a bit more. Shoot, I need to get up there so I can do this and then do one of these. Yeah. Okay. It's looking good already. I'm just gonna do the outline for now. Actually, do I have enough? I think I do. I want to say I do. Come on, I can make it. If I don't have enough on me, I definitely have enough in my chest. Yeah, I don't have enough on me. That's okay. Okay, this area I want to have be the bedroom. And then frickin' go back and forth and then across. I could just go across and then back and forth. Either way works, really. Oh, no! No! I put it on the wrong spot. Oh well. That's okay. Come on. Thank you. And then do that. Do that. There we go. It should be fine. And then I think just go across these ways. Holy shucky. Okay. I got this part done. Honestly, nice amount of progress. Yeah, I plan on this area being a farm, as I said. And then this being where the door is. And then that being another door. But like leading out that way. You know? So I could just, I could craft doors. Because I want one door to be like, say, freaking here, for example, right? Front door, perfectly there. Okay. Side door, here. Bedroom door. I think actually I want it to go where the crafting table is, which is sad, but that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. Put the bed here or something. I don't know. You guys will see. Eventually, this house will come together. I have only given myself that much ceiling space. Unless I do the ceiling out of slabs too. Then I'm giving myself extra headroom. I'm also just gonna run around and plant these. There we go. Now will those grow? You know what we're going back to. The hill! Welcome back to the hill, everybody. Here we are again. Oh shoot. I like to have it like that. I realize I'm not talking much, but at the same time I don't really know what else to talk about. I've basically talked about my day so far, you know. Talked about how I use myself as a science guinea pig. How I went outdoors. The outdoors, yeah, the outdoors is crazy. Especially when you're typically a hermit. So for me, it's like, I like going outdoors. I just, only if the outdoors means outside the front door. Beyond that, I tend to prefer to stay in the car. So, going out in public isn't something that I do regularly, which some would say that's a bad thing, which it probably is. It's probably something I need to talk to a therapist about, but I don't have one of those. So, it is what it is. Hydration break. Man, I'm already getting a tad bit nauseous. If any of you could hear that chewing, I'm sorry. It's aloe vera water. It's got bits in it. I don't know that fucking song. Come on. My game likes lagging on me, which I don't understand why, considering I'm literally just playing single player. What all is there that I'm doing that's causing lag? I'm literally just single player. There's nothing about this worth lagging over. You know, it's the kind of stuff that makes you wonder if your shit's tapped. Probably is. I don't know if you guys get this, but there's always like this weird buzzing in the background whenever I have my computer on. And I know some people are gonna be like, oh well, it buzzes because it's turned on. But no, I mean like from the headphones, not from the computer itself. I almost wonder if it's like I'm hearing their fucking radio signals. They're like, oh shit, this bitch is onto us. Quick, leg the game. That'll get her to stop being suspicious. Which, for anyone wondering, I stopped caring about pronouns when I first found out they were a thing. And that isn't to say that I won't respect yours. That's more so to say that, as soon as I found out there was an option, I was like, I don't fucking care what you call me. Call me whatever, I don't care. Used to name calling anyways. No, not my big axe! Oh. Excuse me. Excuse me. How rude of me to just burp like that. Need more pickaxes, need more shovels, fuck. Need so much shit. Mine to craft and craft to mine. Might as fucking well. If you can craft, you can mine. Or use a sword, you decide. Just do your best in this fight. There is only one way through the night. If anyone knows that song, you can stay. as well just get this area done with. You guys want to hear something crazy? I was able to watch The Book of Life, the full movie, on YouTube. No premium. None of that fancy shit. Just straight up. You wanna know why? Because for some reason, I don't know if this is allowed for everyone, so take it with a grain of salt. For some reason, um, there's those movies that you can watch for free, but they got ads. I didn't get a single ad until like the second act low point. The entire first act I was able to watch perfectly fine. After the second act low point started, that's when they started showing me ads. Anyone who knows anything about like writing scripts and such and stories, they know what I mean by a second act low point. But it wasn't until after that point that I started getting any ads, and I was like, oh, I can actually enjoy a full movie. And then the ads hit, and I was like, oh man, I was damn near pirating that shit just on YouTube. Like, I didn't know that was allowed. If I knew that was allowed, I would have watched more fucking movies on YouTube by now. Which is only partially true. I tried watching Hairspray the other day, and I couldn't get through it. Honestly, the musical aspect was annoying to me. But I guess that's what I get for having practically been raised on High School Musical. And also having to do musicals in the school that I grew up at. Mostly. Um, I went to many schools throughout my education life. Um, but the one that I stayed at the longest was this elementary school. And every single year, without fail, they would put on this stage production. And they they did it so we had to do the show twice. One time for the school that we shared a building with, and then the other time for like relatives to come and see what we were doing. And the school that we shared a building with was it was basically a home for special needs kids whose families couldn't take care of them anymore. You know, like these kids needed extremely special care, and they're basically some parents would just leave their kids there and never come back to see them again, and other parents would return regularly to see how little Johnny's doing, you know. Um, so I remember, like, we would have to go to gym to practice, and the gym of the school was we didn't have our own personal gymnasium. We'd have to go over there for gym. Like, even if it was like a standardized physical test, we had to go over there for gym. And um, every time there was me and some other students who did this. Every time we go over there, it was kind of like we would just hold our hands out for high fives, and whoever wanted to high five, we'd give a high five to. And if people didn't want a high five, then respect the boundaries, you know. Um, but it's like looking back on it, that feels almost pridey and showboaty. Like, oh yes, give me a high five because I'm passing through your section of the school when I don't have any of these special needs. And it's something that I regret. I'm sure to them they didn't see it that way, but it's something that I look back on and I'm like, man, that was cringe. Hopefully they were chill with it, you know? Because it's like when people have special needs that intensive, they struggle to communicate. So oftentimes anyone who is there wouldn't really speak back about anything. So you're just kind of left to assume that they appreciated the high five without actually knowing whether or not they appreciated the high five. You know what I'm saying? And it's I just hope they appreciated it. I would feel very, very cringe if they didn't. Which I'm not trying to put my emotions onto somebody else, especially someone who has like that many disabilities. But it's one of those things that I'm like sometimes I think about at night, and other nights I think about other shit. You know, real talk with EFG. But it is good to get these things off the chest instead of just acting like it's all fine and dandy. You know? Because my personal opinion is it's better to admit to something than to just live with it and act like you're fine when you're not fine. Because you don't have to act like you're fine all the time. You just gotta be able to survive. And if surviving means crying, then cry. That's okay. There's some people who think they're not allowed to cry because of some reason or another. You know, sometimes it's gendered stereotypes. Other times it's, oh well, I don't want to be perceived as weak because crying means you're weak, right? Which I understand. Everyone kind of goes through that phase where they just want to be seen as strong, so they don't cry, they don't express themselves, They don't do any of that. At the same time, you're only one person. You know, you can't expect a single person to understand the complexities of everything of the universe and how you exist in it and this, that, and the other, right? Can't expect a single person to grasp all of it. Which some people do try to grasp all of it, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a matter of, you know, why do you want to grasp all of it? What makes you so curious about the answers? Do you like the subject matter? Cool. Do you just want to say that you know more than everybody else? Okay. There's so many people that are so caught up on the whole idea of having the right answer. But sometimes the right answer is the fact that there are none. And that's okay. Not required that a child know astrophysics. It's only required of the professionals. Bubby's behind me huffing and puffing. It's okay, Bubby. Trim that area down. Let's go. Excuse me. Is there anybody watching this? Thank you. All I'm doing is mining down a hill, as you already know. So thank you for the support. By simply watching my stream, you're supporting me as I try to make it. I don't know. I don't even know that I want to make it big. I just want to have fun, you know? Like, I already like playing Minecraft. I already like mining. I had another world where I was terraforming a mountain, like something that size. But, halfway through it, I had this horrific game crash, blue screen, whatever, right? And normally when that would happen, I would suddenly have double the amount of diamonds if I was on a mining trip. But because I was terraforming, I was like, oh shit, what glitch am I gonna be taking advantage of, right? My fucking I was playing with cheats. Okay, I play with cheats from time to time. Like, I'm even playing with cheats on this world aloud, but I'm not personally using them as much, but I do have them accessible in this world. Um, so because I was playing with cheats, I was like, oh, I'll give myself shulker boxes to throw dirt and cobble into, for the sake of not having too horrifically full a storage system, because it's like, look at this, right? I basically decided, yeah, I'm going to, uh, do it this way, because, fucking, it's so much nicer to have shulker boxes than it is to have to carry around so many things, right? And have so many chests full. And I might actually do that again, because, this ain't it, Chief. Um, so, fucking, I had shulker boxes full of dirt and cobble that I would have used for builds and such, but then, that didn't happen. Because, fucking, I'm just gonna get this in here while I talk about that. So, it didn't happen. I didn't get to build what I wanted to build, because the game decided, because I blue screened, that, nothing I got mattered. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. So the game decided that, essentially, all my shulkers were bullshit, even though they were full to the brim, just like this one, of dirt or cobble or anything. And I was just there like, what the fuck? You know? I I had so much, like, shit, what happened? The game basically told me, hey, fuck you. You mined all that dirt and cobble without going to the end first? Fuck you. And I was horrifically upset, and I have barely touched that save since. Barely. Like, I've considered going back on that save. I considered going back on the save when I thought about streaming today, but I was like, no, fuck that, because of all this shit. You know, I don't want to be burned again. Um, so there's that. And then fucking I wanna get started on the walls. I really do. But I would much prefer to have birch. I feel like birch would go good because it would break up the whole oak thing I got going on. So I need birch. I'm gonna be using oak for like the whole roofing, um what's it called, roof support beams. Yeah. So I'm gonna be using oak quite a bit, and also oak there. So I'd like either spruce or birch. Part of me wants to go get spruce just because I like the darker aesthetics. But another part of me is like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Come on. You know? Just gonna work on trimming this part down. Because my shovel's already, like, mostly broken. I can't be asked to make a new one. And, my nausea's kind of getting to that point where I'm considering hopping off. You know, I made all the support beams of the house. It's housing. It looks actually, I like how it looks. For a house, I like how it looks. You know? Because I'm not done. I'll probably finish it next stream if I come back. I'm planning on coming back, like, tomorrow anyways. I wanna make streaming part of my daily activities for the sake of getting out of bed on a regular basis, which some would say that sounds depressing, but it would help battle my depression at least, you know? I feel like everyone's got their own shit they go through. So if I can help anyone by doing this, even if they're simply just watching, just to watch, hey, that's one more person helped. And I know people are like, oh, I started content creating because I was depressed, and this is my sad backstory, and I'm sure a lot of that is true. But I'm here to tell you that I have. It was called major depressive disorder, where you get diagnosed with depression, but you're a child. I think that's what major depressive disorder is. Yeah, no, I've been diagnosed with that, and so it's one of those things where it's like I'd rather help make the world a better place than just continue moping around about my own sorrows. You know? It just feels like that would be so much more pleasant. Yeah, the more I carve this down, the better view I'll have. Which I realize how fucking idiotic that is to say, considering I'm not at all planning on getting rid of this thing. I just want to carve it down, you know? If I can carve it down, that's enough. Like, I'm not gonna get rid of my obnoxious nether portal, but I am going to carve the landscape downwards and to try to make it flat with that. Just so it looks more like it grew out. You know? Anyways. Wait, shit, I can put that down. I don't know why that's not like that. I have so much gravel that I could turn into flint, and it would be so much more useful, but at the same time, I know that gravel is used for concrete, which I've rarely ever crafted, but it would be interesting to try out at some point. But I could also just have that right there. What else? I could take a carrot with me, because I have a carrot farm going now. I could set my multiple brewing stands down. Not that I need them, but just a flex. And then the lantern I would like to have there for the sake of, you know, having these things where I could see them. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm taking out of here. Take that. Take that. Wait, shit. How the fuck do you make amethyst glass? Search. Yeah, wait, I can make a spyglass already. Shit. Cool. And then, I'm making one of these. And I'm throwing it on the fucking obsidian that's in the back here, so that my house doesn't get fucked. And then the rest can turn into blocks. There we go, there we go. I have almost 64 blocks. Hip hip hooray. I was kind of hoping that would do a zoom in, but oh well. Beggars can't be choosers. Hydration break. I'm kind of curious, am I even under the right tab? I'm only under gaming. Not even under Minecraft. Where the fuck is Minecraft Java? Fuck it. Save. There we go. Wonder if now I'll get any viewers. That'd be crazy if that happens. Anyways, bit of advice. Never, and I mean never, look at how many viewers that you have. This is the way of streaming. You're just talking to yourself in a room. For me, I have, here, I'll use my mouse. I have my game, all this space of my screen takes up so much. Look how small my mouse is in comparison. If my game screen were smaller, my mouse would be bigger. Okay? And then over here, like this takes up like 2/3 of my screen. Okay? And then over off to this side, I don't know if my mouse is showing on that. Actually, I can find out if my mouse is showing on that. Give me a second. So over here, my mouse isn't showing on that. That's okay. But over here, right? Actually, I'm kind of curious. Does my mouse show? If I. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So my game takes up like 2/3 of my screen, and then I have chat right on the last third. So biggest piece of advice I could give you as the viewer is you know, just never I mean never, motherfucker, never look at your viewer count. Even if there's 0 comments, never look at it. You might have lurkers. You might have people who don't know if they're ready to start commenting on your content. You might have people who maybe one day they'll be fans. Maybe. But they don't know you enough. They don't know that you're just sitting alone in a room, practically talking to yourself. They don't know. You can't force them to know. Who do you think you are to force someone like that? I'm looking at you. I'm looking. Who do you think you are? I'm looking. I'm looking, Chad. I'm looking right at you. I can't tell how many viewers I have. That entire part of my screen is completely covered up. I don't have multiple screens. I literally just have Minecraft and chat. Chat's kind of like over here, over here, over this way, over here. It's over here. You know, it's actually, hold on. Does it? It doesn't even go where my eye is on my character. It doesn't even go. Oh, that's goofy. Anyways, ooh, these guys. I'll just not interact with them. Just digging more into my iron stash. It's fine. You know, they can't access chests. They don't know about my stash. They don't need to know. Who's gonna tell them? You? You won't tell them. You can't tell them. One thing I will say is I wouldn't be surprised if anyone for some reason ends up watching this. If they're like, hey, who do you take inspiration from? Who the fuck do you think? I realize that kind of came off as a little mean. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Chat, I'm sorry. Please, please, please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry for that. My bad. I'll just get back to mining. I'll stop rambling now. Getting all self-conscious, even though there's no one in chat saying shit. Anxiety be like, there's no one saying anything. I'll just get self-conscious. Excuse me. Excuse me. Fucking A. So, did you guys watch the sports ball event? Yeah, I totally watched that. Yeah, it was so great. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not a sports ball watcher. Anyone could say anything about sports ball and I'd be like, oh, okay. Cool. Like, one of my brothers, he's really into basketball at the moment. So, he, he's also got the tism. So he knows every single thing there is to know about basketball. Like when he was younger, he was really into wrestling, so he learned every single thing about wrestling. And now his thing is basketball, so now he's learning every single thing about basketball. And our home state team, you know, I said Minnesota earlier. The Minnesota team lost a game last night, and he was very upset. He not he doesn't rage like certain sports ball fans would. He's more he's too chill to do that, but you know, just because he's chill doesn't mean he can't be upset. So he was upset about it, and he went to our mom about it. He was like, why did they win? He, like my brother, he's a teenager, but he knows how to manifest. So he was like, I was manifesting them winning. Why didn't they win? And our mom had to tell him, like, you know, you might have been manifesting that they win, but there could have been like 10 10 more people manifesting the other team wins. And that just, you know, not not everything's going to be measured equally, kind of thing. He was still understandably upset after that. I don't blame him. I think he was like hoping that they'd win for some reason or another, which understandable, you know. state pride and all that. But yeah, he was upset. I can't blame him. It's his new, like, interest, and when someone has autism, they're invested in their interests. Like how I'm invested in digging this fucking hill down so that I can have a good view every morning in my Minecraft world. You know? I have autism, but that doesn't mean I can't have nice things. Let me up, please. Thank you. Fudgesicles. I was hoping that wouldn't be the case. Oh well. I wanna have this be a corner here. Yippee! But yeah, anyone who knows anything about manifesting understands that in order to manifest you have to see and believe and dream in your goal. You know, it's not something you could just casually do and then just let it be. It's something that is a persistent thing that you aim and wish for. So when someone's manifestation doesn't come true, they're like, "Oh man, what happened? What ruined it?" It could be as simple as, well, not enough energy was going towards your specific thing. Fudgesicles. I don't know why I started saying fudgesicles. I kind of say it as a replacement word for fuck, but like, I don't know who I'm trying to be child friendly for. You know? You guys ever do that? Or it's like, okay, so I have niece and nephews and all that. So sometimes I'll just, like, specifically around them, I know to censor my language because like, their mom, my sister-in-law, she kind of looks for any little thing to be mad at my family about. So I know I gotta censor myself around her. Otherwise, she's just gonna be like, "Oh, your family's awful." Like, one thing she complains about my family to her husband, my older brother, is that we're ghetto. Anyone in chat can tell you what ghetto means. Anyone in the comments of this video, once this is uploaded, can tell you what ghetto means. And she considers us ghetto because at the time that she met my brother, we were living in the hood. Now, the thing is, there's a certain level of classism that she holds because she is a police officer's daughter. Ex-police officer now, actually. Um, but she believes she has some level of hierarchy over everyone and even the law because her father's a cop, which it's just baffling to me. Like you you have the balls to not only be disrespectful, but to say that you can get away with it because you're she's Caucasian, white. So because you're white and your family lived in suburbs, that somehow gives you the right to essentially call us poor in her eyes. Um, it's just shocking that people like that exist, and um, we're out of the hood now, but at the time we were very much still living in the hood, even when she started saying all this. Um, at least I was. My older sister had moved out, and a lot of the family went with her. So me and my grandma were still living in the hood in this house, and she was essentially saying that because we live in the hood, we have no class, no manners, none of that. And it's like, how proud are you of your suburbia lifestyle to just say such things about somebody else just because you live in a better situation than they do? And she lived with us is the thing. She lived in our home, and we didn't have much money. We were barely able to feed ourselves, but she lived with us, and she would even go as far as to write her name on any food that she had gotten when she put it in the fridge as leftovers, so that no one else would eat it, because she didn't want her stuff to be stolen by a bunch of hoodlums. Uh, hoodlums. Might I remind you that I am very much an introvert and someone who doesn't like socializing and someone who doesn't like going outside unless it's just driving around in the car, and someone who in general isn't going to do anything too horrifically crazy. And so especially at the time, like I had my moments when I was younger, but at the time I had very much calmed down. And so she saying that we're all hoodlums and all this stuff, it's very very classist, very borderline ableist, because at the time, my grandma, she had to have like many surgeries, and she couldn't really get to work as much, so she wasn't able to get as much money, and my mom wasn't able to work because of different physical ailments that were plaguing her. And so um we we literally most of the time we were living off of child support that my mom would get for raising me and my older siblings. And even then my stepmom would be like, "Oh, you're paying too much." She literally convinced my dad to take my mom to court over paying too much in child support. And the thing is, my mom and dad had prior to this agreed on a set amount. You know, just enough to pay the bills and maybe like go out once in a while to Chuck E. Cheese or something. If you know everyone behaved. You know, hydration break. But there's so many people that it's like this is gonna sound so weird, but my sister-in-law, she almost had this idea that she wanted to be just like just like my mom and dad, which, long story short, they got divorced. You know, obviously, as you figured by now at this point in the conversation. But she wanted her and my brother's relationship to be just like our parents. And it I don't even know if I can say why my parents got divorced, because I think at one point like the US government got involved and um almost went into witness protection. Didn't have to, thankfully, but almost. You know, so I don't know that I can even say what happened from a legal standpoint. So I'm not gonna risk it, but just know that almost went into witness protection over it, which is enough of a red flag to be like, why do you want your relationship to mirror one like that? You know? And I realize I'm just spilling so much family drama tea. But luckily, all anyone here knows about me is that I am Minnesotan. Minnesotan, you know? Everyone is always like, oh, Minnesota nice. No. There's actually so many rude Minnesotans. If I could tell you all the ways that Minnesotans are rude, you would wonder why I'm spreading false lies. If you didn't know I was Minnesotan, you would think me saying that Minnesotans are rude is a bit of hearsay and practically blasphemy about a state that is known for being nice. When in actuality, no. A lot of Minnesotans aren't that nice. Shit, I can't sleep through this. Fuck me, dude. I don't have a house! Please? No? Okay. I'll just give myself a fucking gray shulker. Woe is me. Actually, wait, shit. Need an iron pickaxe. Gib. Boop, and then boop. Line that bad boy up, put it in here. But yeah, no, on the other side that I talked about earlier, I had so many shulkers that was just dirt and cobblestone. Like, I'm pretty sure I had enough to be like an entire chest on itself. But I'm not bothering with that world anymore. I had set a goal of like trying to get rid of the entire mountain, but the fact that I crashed and couldn't get those resources back. Because I don't even remember how many shulkers that I had full. I just know that I had multiple shulkers full. It's upsetting, to say the least. But you know what? It is what it is. Um, trying to think of what all I can do with all this. Cause hmm. Guess I could start with the slabs. You know. Boop. And then boop. And boop. There we go. Now, it's time to slab this up. No! Plus, I could, this makes it mob proof. So I can do stuff with the upstairs. You know? While also, preventing my house from getting horrifically wet. Whoopee! And then I want the stairs to be like here. While also wanting them to be like too wide, but like give enough space for me to have a landing, I guess. Actually 3 wide, I feel like. Yeah, because then I got space to be a dumbass about it, you know? Fuck's sake. It's fine. Oh, is it finally nighttime? Can I finally go to bed? Thank you. Hydration break. Just need a line of slabs. Are you kidding me? Anyways, I think I'm also gonna do the same over here. And have like some kind of bridge. But like, Actually, wait. If I just have that be the attic space, and then that be the hayloft, then I can kind of like do kind of like a flatter arch there, and then like a bigger arch here. That might be the play. Actually. Excuse me. There we go. Now, this area and this area. Frickin' A. Now I can get up here and torch up this area. Let's go. I know these torches aren't going to be their permanent placement, but it's nice to put them on the fucking pillars, you know? Perfectly counted, totally on purpose and not at all by accident. Let's fucking go. I got the second floor in. Yay! Okay. Now, I want to have the roof go like do and then do. You know? Like that. So that way from the front, it kind of looks like it slopes up. And same with the back. But then I also want the barn to have like a typical kind of arch. So I guess it's kind of like going to tent roof into the barn roof, if you will. Oh, I just cracked my thumb. Cracked my other thumb. Don't know how well that got caught in camera, but kinda cool. Also, new axe, because those are good to have. See, it's a good thing I didn't use up that 3 iron that was just sitting in my pocket. Otherwise I wouldn't have this new axe. Then what? Just expect me to suffer? No thanks. this is the next layer I'm going down. But yes, I know some of you are probably like, why are you still going down? Even though that nether portal is very much in the way of your front door. Remember, that section where my bed is in, that's gonna be my bedroom. I want to see the sunrise from my bedroom. That's the whole reason I'm doing it this way. That's the whole reason I'm removing a hill. Okay? Trust the process. Anyone who comes in the streams late, they're gonna be like, oh, that's a really good spot you found for your house. What's your seed? I'll give them the seed. They'll go to the coordinates, and they'll see that I'm fucking batshit crazy to have chosen this place and to have flattened this much of a hill. They'll see that I'm practically losing my fucking marbles. Oh, don't you want to seem approachable for the stream? No. You think I do all this to seem approachable? No. I do all this so people don't think I'm approachable. And that's on social anxiety. But also, I know there are people who go online and they're like, oh yeah, I'm socially anxious, so I became a content creator. And I'm like, what if I try? Can I try? Yes? I can try? Cool. I'll try. So this is me. I'm trying. Excuse me. If anyone remembers at the beginning of stream when I talked about having that baking soda and vinegar, yeah, that's still happening. My body's still trying to process what little did go down. Now, I understand there will be people who are like, oh, why did you even do that? The thing is, it's always good to make sure that you don't have parasites in you. It's always good to double check. You know, there's no harm in double checking. Unless it becomes considered a disorder and you get labeled Oh, you want to double check something? Oh, well, that's a disorder. Like, so what if I double checked that all the doors in my childhood home were locked and all the windows were locked before ever going to bed? Is that OCD? Might be. Could also be trauma response of getting broken into. Da-da. Don't mind me just casually playing the game of Minecraft, where all you do is you mine so that you can craft, and then you craft so that you can mine, and then you mine so that you can craft, and you craft so that you can mine, and then you mine so that you can craft, and you craft so that you can mine. I love this game. Not everyone will understand why I love this game, and that's okay. Nighttime! Okay. Now, I want to, you know, have this be the thing, but I also want to have like an awning. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, because I want it to be slabs, so that would be that height. And then full block, 2 blocks, 3, 4, and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess. Actually, I could use this. Okay. 5 blocks it is. I could have... Wait, I could have done the whole... I fucked up. Chat, I fucked up. I could have made my home 2 blocks taller. Given myself more room to mess with. And I decided no. No, this is a good height. This is a good height for the main floor. I'm going into creative mode. To fix this. Because at the end of the day, it's just, let me see. 3, yeah, it's just 2 more blocks per thing, per pillar. So let me do some maths here. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36. Okay, I need to get rid of 36 logs then. 36 logs gone. And I'm going to put this in here. And I'm just gonna work on raising this by, 2 blocks. Oh, fucking A. Oh no, I need to move this too. Oh shoot. Okay. Okay. How many torches do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 torches. To be fair, I don't... I'm just gonna be replacing them anyways. So... You know what? At least this gives me higher space to work with. But then the stairs are gonna have to definitely be stairs. There's no question about that. There's no way I'm fixing that to be just slabs. No way. I've fricked up the build enough. I don't need to frick it up anymore. Okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 there. And that's that. Okay. Okay, chat. Now to fix these. The entire thing has to be lifted by 2 blocks. 2 blocks. 2 blocks! Chat, give me patience. Give me patience. All the patience that you have in your mind, do you mind if I borrow it? I would very much like to borrow your patience. Cause look, chat, this is the work that I'm having to do. This is 5. It's 5. 5. I just don't... I don't want for the roof and the attic space to look so much larger than the main floor. That feels like an injustice. It feels like an injustice. I don't want that. But it's fine. It's fine. What the fuck? Anyone else see that? It looks like a beacon. Huh? Okay. Don't know why that happened. Oh, no. Freaking. You know what? At least this gives more of a barn door look to the actual barn door area. But now to replace all of this, fuck me. Chat, you're here for the long haul, right? Fucking A. It's fine, chat. Soon this will look perfect. Besides, it was kind of cramped being 3 blocks high anyways. This means I'll be able to run and jump around in my house, which is nice. It's just sad. All the time I put into this, to have to come back into creative mode and to fix my fuck up. It's sad. It's upsetting. I don't like having to put myself in creative mode. It feels like cheatsky doodles. In all fairness, I did craft enough slabs. That tree looked like something different. It's fine. It's fine, chat. It's fine. I just don't like having to cheat when I don't have to. You know? Is that so much for one person to admit to not wanting to having to cheat in a video game? But then having to cheat in a video game because I made the fucking floor, roof, attic floor 2 blocks too short. 2 blocks. 2 blocks, chat. 2 blocks. It changes everything about a build. It really does. I don't know what to tell you. It changes everything about a fucking build. The entire thing has to be rewritten, reworked, redone. You think I'm over-exaggerating? Look at any of the builds you've made. If it were off by 2 blocks, would you be able to sleep at night? No? I didn't think so. Also, bro, I literally heard a buzzing conversation in my headphones. FBI guys are listening. 100%. all fairness, barn houses do tend to be taller anyways. So, height accurate, you know? Okay. Now to fill back in the roof spaces. Not even the roof itself, I'm just... Simply put, I cannot be asked to place down the entire fucking ceiling all over again just because I was off by 2 blocks. So yes, I am in creative mode. I am building a house in creative mode. But I already placed these blocks in survival, so it's only fair. Plus, I'm not on a server that's strictly survival. If I were, I would have been like, fuck it, I'm making it even less of a slant. Right, but because this is freaking not that, I get to have a bit more say. You know? Anyways, I kind of like the idea of the stairs being here, but like rounding out a bit more. You know, like, fucking, what's it called? A corner step. The fact that this lines up makes me so fucking happy. You have no idea, Chad. There we go. Now it's alright. Oh. If I just walk closer to him. Why is the shield not shielding? I don't know why the shield wasn't shielding. But it is what it is. Where was the other sword that I had? Did I get rid of it? I think I got rid of it. Fuck. Oh well. Another iron block. Just making this preemptively. Yeah, I have the upstairs area done. Yay! Yippee! At least the floorboards. You know, it's better than nothing. Come on! I know you're going down over the horizon. You can't lie to me! There we go. shit. Guys, I was just realizing how much I'm hyper-focusing on fucking digging dirt. Someone out there is gonna watch this. I'd be like, yeah, you just now fucking noticed? You just now noticed? Are you fucking insane? Maybe I am. Who knows? I don't. What qualifies as a person sane? Because I'm pretty sure the idea of insanity is like you're detached from reality, right? At least that's part of it. So then, what does that make anyone who dissociates for whatever fucking reason? You know, there's a plethora of reasons someone could be dissociating. But if sanity means being in the moment and all that hunky dory stuff, then would dissociating mean that you're insane? Right? If that's the case, then I guess I'm horrifically insane because I have a tendency to dissociate a lot of things in my life. But that's just normal for me. So I think insanity is like when you're too abnormal, when you're too neurospicy, that nobody knows how to handle you. So you just get the label of insane. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Right? But that almost feels like a disservice of an answer. Because what about people who are like actually mentally struggling, right? They just get a pat on the back. Congratulations, you made it this far somehow. Just feels like a disservice. Excuse me. Sometimes all my brain knows is the autistic urge to just hyper-focus on a fucking task. Which, if you're watching at this point, you probably already figured that one out. I'm at the point where I've ran out of things to talk about, so I'm just kind of doing. You know? I could drop some, like, heavy character lore. Character development, if you will. Of my Minecraft Sona. But, that requires actually writing up a fucking story. I've thought about writing up a story for my Minecraft Sona. Just being like, ooh, lore, lore. But no. If anyone wants to derive lore from me fucking tearing down a hill, feel free. I'm not gonna stop you. But, just know that I will notice. I will notice these things. I may not be on social media much, but I will notice. Ooh, why does EFG dig it in a certain way? Oh, why do they mine down a hill in a certain way? Ooh. Why are they practically OCD with it? Ooh. Lore. Why don't you just fucking dig and shut the fuck up already? Lore. Oh, what? Has ZFG referred to themselves in every commonly used pronouns of, fucking she, they, and he in that order? Lore. I know how people work. They want their fan fictions. Their fanfare, if you will. Your Honor, I believe this person is guilty of wanting fan fiction to be real. Oh. Caught red-handed. The accused stands before the court today as wanting fan fiction to be real. Everyone in the jury, you know, judge bangs the gavel. Order in the court. and then everyone starts quieting down because they don't want to piss the judge off, you know. And then the judge is like, okay, now the fucking what's it called, lawyer fucking court terms. The defendant, state your case on why fan fiction should be real. The defendant motions for his lawyer to get up, and the lawyer says, no. The lawyer just simply says no. And then the fucking defendant is like, fuck it, I'll do it myself then. You want something right, do it yourself. And then the defendant stands up, and he's like, Your Honor, I believe that everyone's story should be real. And the whole court goes crazy. They can't believe somebody would say such a thing. It's horrendous. It's unheard of. It's barbaric. It's this, that, the other. Right. And then the fucking judge bangs his gavel. Order in the court. You know, and everyone quiets down. And then the judge turns to the plaintiff. The plaintiff is like, well, I don't think fan fiction should be real, because think of all the angst that shit causes for all the characters, all the angst because of the lore. The lore. Do you know what the lore sounds like? Dolores. Do you know the only person in fiction called Dolores? Fucking Umbridge. Do you want to be like her, or do you want fanfiction to not be real? And then everyone's like, oh no, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. I watched Harry Potter. I know who that bitch is. She's the bitch that tortures the kids. Fuck her. So everyone is like, oh, we don't want fanfiction to be real. And then the judge is like, oh well, this feels like a fucking biased court then, because I don't know what the fuck Umbridge is. And then everyone on the jury team is like, you don't know who Dolores Umbridge is? What kind of judge are you? And the judge is like, well, I was busy at fucking law school. I didn't have the time to be watching kid movies. And the jury is like, oh, what the fuck? Who the fuck do you think you are? Fucking hotshot judging people. You don't even know who Dolores Umbridge is. So the judge is like, okay, give me like a week to study who the Dolores Umbridge is. And the jury is like, okay. So the court case is held on hold for a week. And then the judge comes back and he's like, you know what? I'm making a ruling. Fuck that fanfiction shit. Dolores Umbridge can burn in a fire. And everyone's like, yay! Except for the defendant who really wanted fanfiction, because he read one cool fanfiction where it was like Superman saved the entire world instead of only saving New York City. I don't even know what the fuck this story is. I'm just rambling. I'm just rambling, guys. I'm just rambling for the sake of rambling. Now time to run to my house, in fear, because I don't like the mobs. Please do not touch me there. That is my no-no square. Anyone else know that song? Or is it just me? Does anyone else really just like tearing down hills, or is that just a me thing? Because if this is just a me thing, then I'm going to be very self-consciously upset. Because it's something that I've enjoyed doing in Minecraft for literally the longest time. I don't know why that is. I just love tearing down hills and mountains and shit in survival. It's one of my favorite things to do in the game. I don't know if that's just me, or if that's something that's like a universal thing, but it's very therapeutic. Okay, this is fine. I think up until here. I want to cut it off. And start making it go down. You know? Because then it's like, it's still kind of got like some level of, yeah, some level of ground out that way. But it's just not as extreme, I guess. That's what I want to do to it. Let me sleep. Okay. So, my nausea's gone, knock on wood. You know. That's nice. But I am probably going to hop off at some point, I don't know. I might hop off, I'm not entirely sure. I'm thinking about it. At the same time, I really just want to get my walls done. Walls up! Walls up! Walls up! Walls up! You know. I might actually make more doors. Crazy, I know, but hear me out. Okay. Hear me out when it comes to the doors. Fuck, I can't. Minute to yeet. Welcome. I'm gonna place that door there. And then fucking this door can go here. I don't care. One door left. Fuck it. I'm making another room here. This room can be for, I don't know, enchantment setup or something. Hey Nate, guess what? I've been terraforming. I've been terraforming. You want to see my terraform? Very big house. Thank you. I plan on having like the more square area be like the actual living space, and then over here be like a barn with animals and shit. It's amazing terraforming. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't raided this village yet. I raided like 10 different villages though before I decided to settle here. I'm considering just going in there, guns blazing. But no, I want to get rid of like that entire mountain bit because I want this bottom bit to be like a bedroom. So, I want to be able to see the sunrise, but I can't see that with all of this in the way. So I'm just gonna make it go like that, and then maybe like some kind of hill that way. You know. I'm going in the village. I'm too curious. I spent the entire other stream not going in here. Look, if I never came here, I would have missed out on an entire bundle. That's valuable resources. Can't get anywhere else. First house. Valuable resources. Oh shit. Are you like good, dude? Like, oh, and don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm just taking your work shit. Good plan. Oh, another portal. It might not be a good place. I built the nether portal. It was broken and I fixed it. I'm gonna leave that nether portal there. It's staying. I want it to look more like it got raised out of the ground. Anything in here? No? Okay. Anything in here? Yes. Perfect, 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 perfect. Bro literally had gold. Decorated it more at some point? Yeah. To be fair, this is like my second day playing on this save, so I'm I'm just, you know, I'm existing with it, vibing with it. I took damage. No. Whatever shall I do? Give me your bread. Give me your armor. Give me your bundle. Thank you. It's got mods there. Only the minimap mod. I don't know how to do mods, and for some reason the minimap mod has been on my Minecraft, so it just kind of automatically opens whenever I launch up Minecraft, even if it's just vanilla. It's not necessarily that I wanted the mod to be there, it's just there. And I don't know how to get rid of it. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So, this house feels like it should have it upstairs, but it doesn't. That's disappointing. Yoink. Why? Huh? Are they stuck? Did they just... They walked over this. Very old mod that's just suffering at this point. Yeah. Probably. Fuck if I know. Anyways, thank you for the emeralds. Those will go to good use. Willingly prison themselves, yeah. Willful imprisonment. As opposed to wrongful imprisonment. It makes sense, probably more so to them than it does to me. Actually, I'm gonna leave that there, because I've seen pillagers show up at my house. So if I ever, you know, if I ever do a raid, it's gonna be there. There's no reason I'm not gonna do a raid here at some point. Gold there. Potatoes. Armor. Let me throw this on. Throw this on. I want to get through all the, like, the way that I play is probably super inefficient, but I like playing with basically just use all the worst gear and then move up. The trading center before prison villagers die in the night. Nah, dude, I sleep through the night cycle. It's fine. I'm not dumb. One, two, three. Why are you pressing X, bro? This is so sad. This is so sad. Alexa, play Despacito. Throw apples in there. Ooh. Running low on iron. That's not good. For once in my life, I'm running low on iron. I didn't grab enough to make a shield. I'm very smart. Backup shield. Swap it. Villagers can't avoid death. Zombie could walk in on fire and attack. Bro, I don't even let the cycle get to that point. Like, as soon as the sun goes over the horizon, I'm in bed. Okay? I'm not dumb, bro. I know how to play the game. I'm going to move the gravel from here. Rearranging inventory. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. See that shit? Sunset. And I'm going to bed. Also, 7 brewing stands. Let's go. Bundles, you can use them. Clear up storage, a small amount. There's very little in here that is small amounts. Guess I could bundle the flowers. Yippee. Flowers. Fuck. Why the fuck is the coal in here? It's supposed to be in here. Why the fuck is it not in blocks? What was I thinking however many minutes ago that happened? 4 thingies? What has the number 4? Oh, snow blocks? Or prismarine? Seeds, flowers, eggs. Yeah. But see, the reason I picked this spot was I want to not only terraform that down, but I want to, like, make all of this be, like, farmland. Put them all into a bundle. Yeah, true.